If you're burned out on conferences that feel like one long sales pitch, you're not alone. That's why CyberSec community events are different. These conferences are about community, conversations, and value for people who actually do the work. CyberHackCon is happening May 27th, 2026 in Plano, Texas. Built in partnership with legendary pen tester Philip Wiley, CyberHackCon is a zero gimmick, no hype conference. You'll actually build practical skills and meaningful connections. Learn more and get your ticket at cyberhackcon.com. That's CYBRHAKCON.com.
Syntax. Engaging. This is BarCode, a cocktail-powered podcast that dives deep into the personalities, criminals, and heroes that have come to define security across the globe. Please join our host, Chris Glandon, for another wild foray into the incredible world of humans and how they intertwine with today's modern technology. We hope you enjoy today's episode.
Three, two, one.
Activate.
Welcome to BarCode. I'm your host, Chris Glandon, and today we're hanging out with my man, Mu Muhammad. So Mu's journey in cybersecurity has taken him from desktop to application security and incident response, and he's done it pretty quickly and efficiently, I would say. In fact, I've been lucky enough to sort of watch his progression from afar, and he's definitely killing it right now. He's been building his career for over the last 4 years, stacking real-world experience and sharing practical insights along the way. Mu, it's always good to see you, man. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, bro. Thanks for having me. I'm glad I could spend my birthday with you, bro. You already know, best podcast in the nation.
Thanks, man. So happy birthday, by the way.
Pre-
If you don't mind, take me back to just the beginning of your journey. Talk to me about what ignited inside of you to decide to make the move in the direction of cybersecurity.
Yeah, I think everyone's path is pretty similar. Cybersecurity was just this new hot thing that was coming out on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Like, become a cybersecurity engineer in 30 days, 90 days. So, I fell for the okie doke a little bit and said, all right, I'm going to get my associate's degree. And then what you realize is, this is going to take longer than 30 days.
Reality set in.
It's like when you think you're gonna get into a relationship and it's gonna stay in the honeymoon phase forever, and then you learn there's like some more work you got to get. But just like a good relationship, if you put that work in, you'll really enjoy like the fruits of your labor. The beginning of my journey was just a career redirection, because at first I was an Uber driver and I was also doing odd end jobs to make ends meet. And then I think I told this story a bunch of times, but it's cool. I met a mentor in an Uber ride, bro. She lived around the corner from me. I picked her up. It was like destiny, because again, I walked past the house a couple times, like thousands of times. You never know who you'll meet, right? And she was like, yeah, you're too smart to just be driving a car. Here's my number. Come to the library. Let's sit down. And she sat with me. We looked at the different programs. We decided I should go to the Community College of Philadelphia, and the rest is just history. Yeah.
That's crazy, man. So you met your mentor while driving Uber,
Yeah.
and your mentor was in the security field at that time?
No, so she is a librarian. So she the way the story goes, I'm from West Philly. I'm from the trenches a little bit, right? I grew up in between West Philly and Upper Darby, so I had some experiences in West Philly, some experiences in Delco. Went back and forth. Regardless of what place people decide to place me in, not a lot of us really cared much about school. But when I sat down with her in that Uber ride and we talked for a little bit before I dropped her off, she was like, yeah, you should go to school because I have X, Y, and Z in accounts from saving for so long. And I won't get into that number, because we're not doing the pocket watching, but She told me how much money she made from just being a librarian. I'm like, what? A library salary? Oh, I know I can stack at least 4 or 5 of them. Yeah. So, yeah, that's the story. So in the beginning, there wasn't like much of a roadmap. It was just me going to classes, me asking for my teachers, and I met some great
Not knowing what to expect.
at all. Like actually to give you so I love the questions you're asking. To give everyone a clear description of how green I was. I didn't know that. First off, I didn't know that robotics was a thing. Didn't know that AI was a thing as far as careers go. Didn't know the plethora of different jobs that existed in security. Imagine you take a smart kid who didn't know anything about tech as if he lived under a rock and then just threw him in a college class and said, here. And so I'm like, oh my God, what is IAM? What is a server? What is the
Mm,
cloud? What is Kali Linux? What is even Windows OS and why does it matter? All I know about is Windows XP, and Windows 8. I hate Windows 10. Like, yeah. And but
yeah.
a lot of
Still no better OS than XP, in my opinion.
the vulnerabilities would say differently, but I feel you.
Well, that yes. I mean, UI alone, XP was number one for me. While you were there, I know everything's new for you. You're getting thrown to the fire. But was there any mentors you met during that point in time, or any pivotal people that influenced you as you got started in school?
Most definitely. So, and I can't wait to name drop those that want to be name dropped because some folks want to have their anonymity. First and foremost, it was Sonny Chang. Definitely. Sonny Chang is a professor over at the Community College of Philadelphia. He was the one that outside of my mentor showed me the money because sometimes that's what kids need because you can't just tell a kid to go to college when you got people like Kanye West and Gary Vaynerchuk saying you don't have to go to college because there's no money in it. It's a scam and things like that. So she showed me the money first, the proof of concept, and then he made me go, you're not going to just sit here and do these classes. You're going to research what role they're going for. So he made us look up USA jobs and pinpoint what are the different professions, what is a software engineer, what types there are, and so on and so forth for all the different industries, whether you wanted to stay as a cybersecurity major or pivot into something else. He was very much about flexibility, but finding the goal before you start just putting your head down and doing work. He also advocated projects early. And that's something I want to get into later on in this talk. And I told you, I really want to hammer that down, but for later. Besides him, it was Miss Beverly Simpson. She was someone that taught me how to teach and learn, and by learning through teaching. So when I was in classes, whenever I didn't get something as well as everyone else, or even if I did get it a little bit more quicker than everyone, it would really, really sink in by as soon as I was finished doing what I was doing, she'd be like, all right, cool. You go help that side of the room. I'm gonna help this side of the room. So now I'm showing people how to use Active Directory, how to go through the servers, how to just do everything from top to bottom. But now I know it to a T because I done did it 30 different times with 30 different issues. And the last person is last 2 people. Miss Berna Dykeman, she was a professor that came from, I think, Rowan and brought the entire cybersecurity curriculum into the Community College of Philadelphia. Because when I came in 22, it was a brand new major, right? So that too, imagine you're new in tech and you're in a brand new major in a brand new college. They just, you know what I mean? So there's some bugs they gotta, so everything's
Mhm.
there. But
Yeah.
from her, she gave me the roadmap on what certifications to get, what degrees to get, how she got hers, things of that nature. And the last person that was a good mentor was, and I always sing her high praises, Miss Genevia Weaver. Like from that school, those like the 5 folks or pillars that I had. And her lesson to me was just do more. Like do more clubs, put on more projects, go to the different events, go talk to people. You'll never know how much you're capable of until you do more. In my journey, sometimes that's made people think that I'm doing more than I can handle or that I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off, but hey, I don't know everything. Y'all watching, y'all don't know everything. So only way to try to learn as much as you can, do everything. See what sticks, see what works. And I would say it's worked pretty good in my favor so far.
Yeah, I think that definitely makes you a differentiator in the industry and in the community is that you're forcing to put yourself into those situations and learn new things. And a lot of people aren't doing that. And again, a lot of your mentors coming in sort of had that common denominator of, be active and, challenge yourself. And so I think that has helped you to get to where you are today.
Definitely, and I'm always paying it forward wherever I can. So the next person that comes into college or does the project route, I let them know, hey, don't waste too much time on that. Like my main philosophy now when I help people is before we sit down and talk about anything, do you understand the difference between signal and noise? And if they say no, I break it down to them as simple as this. Signal is what you can see is giving you the most progress immediately. If it's not giving us any ROI, we're not doing it. And the noise, the busy work, the emails, the having conversations with certain people when you got work to do, and so on and so forth. And once we differentiate those two things, it's like a fast track that I'm able to put others on and myself when I have my little quarterly redirections to see, all right, what have I been doing and is it working?
Yeah. Let's talk about noise for a second, and I wanna talk about noise from the perspective of distraction and the nonstop distraction that we, to be honest, is very relevant in our industry, and a lot of it is relevant to disrupting our personal growth. So as you came up and as you continue to come up, how did you filter that noise and stay focused, try to avoid the hype that comes along with trying to, get acclimated into a new industry and a new field for you?
So for me, it was a lot of reading. I started off before getting into college reading a couple different books. So that was what was it? Think Grow Rich, 40 Laws of Power, Never Split the Difference. What is it? Atomic Habits. I think almost all the self help books you can think of. And one of my favorite ones that I love to recommend to people is called Friends, Lovers, and Soulmates. And for some, they might hear this portion of what I'm saying, and just skip ahead. So if you're gonna do that now. But I believe that a part of being someone in tech is having good emotional intelligence, because you can't just work like a dog and not think that it's not going to affect you as a human being. So, reading Friends, Lovers, and Soulmates, which is a book that's predicated on helping relationships between specifically Black men and Black women in their romantic endeavors, to build a family, it helped me be a better person because it taught me how to communicate. It taught me the four different communication styles, which helped me in the workplace. So, it taught me how to be assertive, or the difference between being assertive, aggressive, passive, and passive aggressive. So being able to understand people and myself more, it allowed me to just do those internal audits to see, how do I avoid these. So the first distraction for most of us is social media. We can spend I'm not trying to curse, but a ton
Oh,
of
you can curse.
cool, a shit ton of time on TikTok, and you'll look up and it's been 4 hours. So the first thing was that, why am I on this? Is it allowing me to connect with people, or am I just wasting my time because I don't want to get this other thing done? So like, all right, cool, done. Then it's, okay, what relationships do I have that thrive off me being present? How can I either tell these people, hey, this is my new program, either you can get with it or we can distance ourselves? And how do I allow myself to not feel guilty from that? Because I'm trying to build something, and now what's allowing us to be cool with each other, or whatever with each other, is not present because I need this time to allow me to grow. And I think those are the two biggest things. Whenever I talk to people who are deciding to take this leap into cybersecurity or tech or any new endeavor that's going to improve them, I let them know that the work usually isn't the hardest part. It's time management and the interacting with humans, whether that be the people you're trying to learn from or the people that you're trying to still have good relationships with, even though you're not going to be around as often as you can. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I like that, man. I like being able to recognize when a distraction becomes a distraction. Like I completely believe that you need downtime and you can get burnt out by focusing too much on one thing, but
Yeah.
being able to realize, look, 4 hours on TikTok is not being productive at all. So yes, being able to recognize that is important. I also think that that distraction starts to fade when you become more passionate in the industry. Was there a point in time for you where you became passionate and more driven the next day than you were? Like, we talked about projects. Was there a project that you got involved with that helped drive that passion for you? Or was there someone that you met that helped drive that passion for you that sort of helped you, see those distractions a little bit clearer?
Remember how I talked about how I had so many projects on my mind, and so many things I was doing, trying to learn as much as I could to figure out what is this big thing called tech, so that I may make it smaller for me and find a niche. So I finally found my niche. I understand that I want to be a security analyst and then progressing into an engineer. and then eventually get to a point where I can be a CISO or a VP or a director of security and lead my own team. Like I definitely want to be in management and deal with policy and compliance. So that's something I really want to get to. And that's where my certifications have me headed. That's where my college education has me headed. That's the roadmap right now. So if anyone wants to know, that's my roadmap. But before getting to that, it took, again, in 2022, starting learning about security and all of tech and just, personal endeavors as well. But when the point is, when December came, I sat there with the different people that were able to help me with their experiences and go, okay, what am I good at? What do I have the most experience in? And what's the roadmap? And having that conversation forced me to create the roadmap that I have for this year. So the roadmap for this year to share is create the projects, show folks that I actually can do what I say I can do. And the first project in January that I dropped was the SOAR and EDR project. It showed my ability to connect Tines with Lima Charlie and show that I'm able to generate some telemetry from Kali Linux and then have it spit out an alert that will come through via an API connection to Slack and also one to my email, right? And I also could have added SMS. So I could add a bunch of other things. But the goal was just to show that I'm willing to learn these technologies. I'm willing to show you that I can do it. The next project is going to be my ability to show that I understand threat analysis, reverse engineering, and how to create detections using Yara, right? And then I have a couple other projects that I'll have set up on my GitHub and on my LinkedIn for the year. So now, besides going to these engagements and just talking about my internships, I can show you my projects. I can pull out my phone to you. The next thing from there is graduating. Great. Now we graduated. Now we got the projects. Now we got the internship. Now we got the network from going out to different events and putting myself out there, like going to DEF CON and being a speaker, or just coming out to conferences and being conned, asking, hey, can I help you set up for this event? Or can I be on your podcast and our networks can meet each other? Just doing cool things like that for the ultimate goal, which is to get a position. So, yeah, December to January was that close of that door of, hey, let's learn everything. Now let's hone, let's polish. And then now I'm just every day is going down my checklist. All right, cool. What's for January? Cool. What's for February? Cool. And that's where I'm at. No, it was learning what I didn't want to do in tech. It was
Okay, gotcha.
I'm not gonna sit there for hours with robotics.
Yeah,
I don't have the patience that it takes to learn the inner workings of matrix multiplication for AI. That's not me.
yeah, yeah,
I don't have the timing and the patience this early in my career to be a full-on software developer. Whoever's
yeah,
trying to be a blue teamer and a software developer at the same time, good luck.
yeah, yeah.
What else? I'll
Well,
get
you
into
see this
yeah,
rapid pace of the industry now with,
yeah,
like you said, robotics and AI and just
yeah.
everything hitting now. When you look at that, do you feel like the aggressiveness and the pace of the technology that we're seeing the industry take on, is that helping or is that hurting the newcomers?
It's hurting the newcomers. It's not having someone like myself and you to tell them, take a breath. I was
Mhm.
talking to my supervisor today, actually, while we were going over how we're planning to automate our workflow. And how do I say it? He was telling me that a lot of the pressure these newcomers put on themselves is not healthy. And a lot of them need to adopt a sense of, I'll get it done when I can. It'll get done when it needs to get done. Because you can be distracted by the propaganda and the marketing that these companies create. Because as they should, it's great for you to create you need to get it, you need to learn it. But also, let's remember the context. It's because you need to sell it. If the ultimate goal is, if I'm thinking about Stride versus Pasta, right? The two frameworks that determine threat modeling and risk management, right? What do we need to actually protect us as far as like a tech level? And what does the business really need? Like, is this really going to affect this? Like, how is this changing the money? So if these newcomers think in terms of that, like, do I need to know cloud and security and know how to code with Cairo or Claude to build this tool right away when I first come in? Or do I need to understand that even if I did know all that, you're still not going to hire me if I don't have my bachelor's. You're still not going to hire me if I don't have my security clearance. You're still not going to hire me because I lack internships. So I might as well understand I got 4 years if I'm doing it like the traditional route, right? I got 4 years to learn each one separately and take my time. And that's honestly what I wish I did do. And I did do it, but kind of with just a sense of there's a monkey on my back. Like I have to learn it now, now, now. And it's like, no, you have time because they're not going to hire you anyway. Like, like thinking about the context, not just thinking about how fast things are moving. Like it's not moving that fast actually. Like there's still a hiring freeze. There's still time where people are going to readjust. Like wasn't there just an article that said we might be in an AI bubble recently? Correct me if I'm wrong. So you did all you could to learn about AI. You got this cert from X, Y, and Z company. You got this project from X, Y, and Z YouTube video. You paid for this X, Y, and Z course. And then you get to this resume that you have and you're trying to send it into this company thinking they want to hire you. And now we're at a paradigm shift where it's like, yeah, we're not hiring any AI prompters anymore. We realize how much that's a bubble.
Yeah,
And then
I've seen it.
you screwed yourself thinking that you had to hurry up to catch a trend. When in reality, the main jobs have always been there if you just focused and calmed down and understood that, okay, take a breath. There's context. Let me just get a help desk role. Let me get my money right, get my experiences right, then start building projects towards something that I actually know that I've taken the time to learn. Like, let me learn. If I'm choosing software, let me learn about GitLab. Let me learn about GitHub. Let me learn about how the contributions gets my name in the field. So I'm sorry if that's a long answer, but that's like the answer. The answer is there is no pressure to learn as quickly as possible, especially if they're not going to hire you as quick as possible. If you learn it tomorrow, but they can't hire you tomorrow, then it's not going to happen. However, the only caveat is if you're someone that's been in the industry for a while, but if you've been in the industry for a while, like let's say you, Chris, tomorrow you wanted to get into a cloud role, you have a network and you would just go get a cert and then you build a project. Cool, now we're done. But there's no like, I have to do it tomorrow, otherwise I'm not gonna what? It's there. Take a breath, everything is fine.
Yeah. Yeah, if someone came to me and told me that, that they're an expert in this cutting edge tech, I mean, that's a red flag too,
Hey, you
because
just got here. How?
yeah, exactly. How do you gain expertise and experience when, this shit just dropped yesterday? So I guess what can we do as an industry professionals, people that are frontward facing in the community? What can we do to help support those people breaking in? I know you said that they're not coming to us, they're not having these conversations with us. Do you think our industry is, more responsible today to have those conversations with newcomers?
Let's say that from my experience being in this community, whether it be you and a couple other folks that I won't name, because again, I didn't ask permission who I can name. So I'll say from all the conferences, all the get-togethers, the mixers, and again, just to give you your flowers and give you your praises early, bro. You've been a very good, inclusive person when it comes to like allow me to ask you for information, allow me to come on your podcast, even allow me to find a way to navigate. Like if you don't know the answer, being able to point me to someone who does know. So I think that the cybersecurity community, as I see it at large, at least in America, has done a great job at telling the young folks what they should be doing. I think the other half is if we'll listen, because I was told a long time ago to start doing projects and to stop doing so much networking, right? But I had a special case. So, give me some grace. But some of these kids that I talked to, adults, because not everybody's a child, but to be respectful. Some folks are just avoiding the work. Like some are definitely. Some are avoiding creating the Medium post or avoiding creating that GitHub or just avoiding getting their hands dirty because they just want a GRC role where they don't code as much. But it's like, all right, after GRC, you have to do a little bit of coding or you have to do a little bit of project building. Like you can't keep ducking the work that it takes to prove that you can get hired for this space because you can prove that you belong here just being a considerate person. Like you're trying to learn, will always accept you. But to be able to refer you for something or to hire you for something, since that's the main goal, or to be able to accept your opinion on like a research or a theory or a new CVE, even you need to be in the field with some hands-on experience.
You got to put that work in.
Yeah, gotta put that work in.
Yeah.
But yeah, the community's doing a great job. I'd say I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you, man. I thank you. I appreciate you, man. I think that you're paving the way for a lot of folks coming up, man. Especially being new into the field and the work that I've seen you put in. You're reaping the benefits now, and I'm sure you're seeing it at this point that there is value in not only putting the work in, but there is value in networking. It is who a lot of times to help you get to that next level of your career, and definitely keep doing that.
Thank
You
you.
know, that's very important for people to know out there is, create a network. Whether you're not a person that goes on site to create that network online. But there is a network for you, and that network of people is invaluable to help you excel.
Percent. Couldn't have said it better myself.
So, Moo, if you had to start this all over again, what would you do different?
I like that. So, number one, I'd find community fast because it takes a village. Number two, I'd create the visibility even quicker, like getting my hands dirty on documentation, like documenting, building projects and showing that I know what I'm doing. And then everything else just the same. But I would have found community quicker and I would have definitely documented more projects and spent more time around those that do hands-on work. What is it? Chris Maynor. Like I remember and I point him out because he's the first person that I've ever watched at a conference that had a super technical talk, but I was there the whole time. And you were there too. It was Boardwalk Bites when he did the Kubernetes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
I was locked in with him, and I was also locked in with the AI you created. What's his name? Tony Sal? What's his name? What's his name?
Oh, Vito.
Vito, yeah. I was locked in with Vito, and I was locked in with the Kubernetes talk y'all had. And that's what I'm saying, being around people like y'all that are super hands-on. Be around folks who show their documentation and show your worth early and find communities. And if I had to say some communities for people to get involved with, I would definitely say if you are in college, you are not. NSBE, the National Society of Black Engineers, IEEE, Women in Cybersecurity, the Association for Women in Science, Women's Society of Cyberjutsu, Black Girls Hack, Blacks in Cybersecurity, and Blacks in Tech, just to name a few. Had I known about them, I'd have got in a lot sooner as far as like we could have accelerated that process of finding out what the positions are. We could have accelerated that process of getting those early conversations out the way. Because every year and every other quarter, these organizations are having group study sessions, they're having mentorship programs, they have scholarships, different resources, outings, just ways to, again, be a community and nurture and develop someone coming in. So that way I don't do that much just discovery where I'm just bumping my head and going to different places. I can have this conversation that I'm having with myself in December and January to redirect. I can have that in the beginning. So instead of figuring out what everything is, someone can tell me, you don't have to know everything. You just have to know one, pick it, and let's just focus on it. And yeah, I think that's everything. Finding community and doing projects early. So if you aren't doing projects right now and you're someone who's in your first to senior year in the college journey, or if you're someone who's doing the technical route, hey, get to documenting. We want to see your projects. We want to see what you know how to do. We want to have a conversation with you about how we can help you even improve it. Cause that's the best way. Like for me, I know if I'm in a space where I have an opportunity for someone because I know someone who's, because people now, because of how much networking I've done, they're asking me, hey, do you know any good candidates for this internship or for this full time role? So if I've had a conversation with you at a conference or anyone had a conversation with you and you show me that you're a doer and not just a talker, oh, bet. I'm gonna say, you know what? I do know so and so. I do know this. Yes, I'll send an email to them, and that's just how the community works. If you show that you know what you're doing, you will get the benefits for it. You'll reap what you sow.
Very true. Very true. I want to get your thoughts on Hacker Summer Camp because I think you just went to your first Hacker Summer Camp last year. How much of a culture shock was that for you being more affiliated with the local cons, the local groups, and then going to Vegas for that? Was that a culture shock for you, or how did you adapt to that scene?
Character. So forgive me what I'm about to do next, but I need y'all to look in my eyes. I'm coming close now. There was a boat. There was a boat. Someone hacked a boat. When I saw that, I was done. I said, no, this is different. How did y'all get a boat in here? And how did you figure out how to, like, they had boats,
Yeah,
cars, there was
yeah.
a bus downstairs. I'm like,
There's nothing like it.
y'all hacking anything and everything, huh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're referring to DEF CON.
Yes.
Yes.
And then I didn't get a chance to travel to all the other places, but I was able to hear stories. I was able to see the LinkedIn posts. But the amount of the amount of doers, the creativity of the doers, and also the willingness to teach you how to do it, saying, "Here's a pamphlet," or "Here's a free ESP." They were giving out ESP32s and Raspberry Pis.
Yes.
The incentive and the want for you to, "Hey, break this, then put it back together," was such a culture shock from just being at the East Coast conferences and talks that it was like, "Oh, I don't care if I spent $2,000 and maxed out my credit cards to be able
Yeah.
to do it
And
again."
you can see that here, but it's
Yes,
scaled up there like
yes.
none other.
Like, times 100. 'Cause, like, yeah, you might have 1 or 2 booths that'll show you some technology and some, like, demos or whatever, but there, every booth had, "Play with this," or "Don't play with this," or "Let me teach you about this." It was just, yeah, if you can, please make your way out to Vegas in the summertime. I know it sounds like I'm sentencing you to some hell, but look, bring your sunscreen, bring an umbrella, bring some water, find me, find Chris, find somebody. We'll show you how much fun it is. How did you enjoy your first hacker summer camp when you went?
You're asking me?
Yes. If you don't mind.
Um, I loved it. So my first hacker summer camp was in 2012. So it was a little bit different than it is now. It's grown since then. The year prior, I had gone to a HackerCon called Hacker Halted in Atlanta. It's a little bit of a smaller scale, but it gave me the idea of what a HackerCon looked like.
Mm,
But when I hit Vegas, you're right, man. It was information overload for me because I had only been in security about a year myself at that point in time, and so I'm just like, run here, run. It's just
yeah.
so much to take in. Even then, that's why I'm curious to hear how over the years how that has grown, how much of a shock that was to people that are coming in for the first year, and what I think you and I should do for the people that are coming into Hacker Summer Camp 2026 is maybe we write a field guide for how to approach Hacker Summer Camp because you're fresh off of that, and I'm sure there are takeaways and lessons learned that you got home and said, look, I could have optimized my time a little bit better, or maybe I could have done this. Maybe we do that for this year and put that to the test.
Prime example, everyone. I don't know whether Chris is gonna be on my left or my right when I do this, but a doer.
Yeah, yeah,
Because now if we do that, not only does that help me, because I would love to make sure I have an itinerary now when I go out, because I know some conferences were happening at the same time. So it's like you have to be careful on what you stay at, and hopefully you have enough money to be able to bounce from back and forth. Just a warning, Ubers are expensive. But yeah,
yes.
would love to. I would love to put some documentation together to help these folks save some money. Cause y'all gonna have some fun.
And then for the people that are going out, you got the parties. So there's a DEF CON calendar called DEF CON Parties alone that is insane. And I'm sure you've seen it too. So, I mean, you have your, really what you want to get done during the day, build that knowledge bank. And then, that doesn't end.
We
It doesn't end.
we I'll say this. I need y'all to focus on on that documentation and them projects because yeah, whatever happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. You talk about distractions. You get distracted in Vegas.
And see, I wasn't gonna bring the parties up. You weren't supposed to tell me.
Well, yeah.
No, you good. You good. But
Hey,
hey,
you learn at parties too.
you do. You do. If that's what gives y'all the energy to want to come out to these events, yes. No, it's not just tech. If that's not your twist, we do have fun. We do party. There are pool parties, a bunch of pool parties. There are just great events, great gatherings, great food, great people. So it's like bringing together. It's like bringing together tech and dare I say a great cookout. Dare I say it? Dare I say it? Yeah.
Say
Especially
it.
if you have like the specific folks there. Ooh, yeah, here we go. Here's the nuance. It's a great day in tech and a great cookout as soon as the day is over. You just gotta know who cookout to go to.
Love
Yeah.
it. Yes. Yes. I love that, man. All right. So the Moo Profit Field Guide for DEF CON and Black Hat coming to you soon.
Yes.
Let's get on that.
Yes.
Okay, man. Well, before we shut down here, we always do a couple completely unrelated bar style questions. And since we're on the topic of Vegas, maybe we related to Vegas. I don't know, but like I've said earlier, man, I've personally witnessed you in a professional setting that includes Hacker Summer Camp, coast to coast conferences you're at. So you're putting in that work. But along the way, what would you say has been your most unique or memorable bar experience? And maybe that's at one of the conference happy hours or even a place you may have ventured into on your own.
So like bar as in barcode, or like being at a bar at the different conferences?
Just bar. So in Vegas, there's endless amounts of bars that you can walk into. Some of the, vendors have parties there, but it could be at Vegas, it could be somewhere else. I'm just curious about a nice, best bar that you've ever walked into and been able to enjoy yourself.
The first one is the bar we went to where I met Jeff Mann after he had his talk on the curmudgeon in the crypt. That was awesome. They had great food, fully catered. The bar was great. The atmosphere was nice. I don't remember the name, but when I go back in my details, I can let you know. The other one was it was the sober bar. So it was underneath this museum in Vegas. I can't remember the name of it, but again, great food, great atmosphere. I don't know what it is about some of these bars, but the food is trash sometimes. Let's be honest. Especially if I need to eat. If I'm a lightweight,
Yeah.
which I am, to make sure I don't draw in front of my, professionals. And
Yeah.
yeah, good food, good wings, good little catering things. I don't usually drink much, but if I do, I have a Jack and Coke, but it was a sober bar experience where everyone had like their little mojitos and whatnot, and it was
Okay.
yeah.
So the sober bar, I assume, is all non-alcoholic
Yeah.
cocktails.
Yeah,
Nice.
all non-alcoholic cocktails, but they were great. The people was great. The atmosphere was nice. Again, good food. That's a big thing. And that was in Vegas. That was under a well-known museum. I can't remember where it's at, but I know that one. But the other
Is it the
experience,
Mob Museum?
it might have been. There was a lot of yes, it was. It
That's
was.
it? Okay.
Yes. How'd you know
That's
that?
one that's been on my list that I haven't got to yet.
Yeah, so let me tell you. So when you get there, right? It's like right when the museum closes. So you'll go to the front door saying, "Hey, can I get to the bar?" And they'll say, "The entrance is out back." And it's like, uh, okay. And then you get out back, you walk down a little steps, you knock on the door with the knock you was told to knock with, and the guy's just like, "Shh, what's the code?" And I'm like, there was a code. So you start checking your phone for Eventbrite, like, the cow only moves once. Except when you got some beef. Closed it, and then opened it like, "Hey, welcome in. You got some people over there. Grab a hat, grab your card, have fun." And I'm just like, "Oh, this is lit."
Nice. All right,
Yes,
well, that's one I gotta get to then.
got to, got to.
All right, man. Well, I just heard last call here. You got time for one more?
Of course.
All right. If you decided to open a cybersecurity themed bar, what would the name be? And what would your signature drink be called?
I would call it specifically the aftermath, or
The
like,
Aftermath.
or after
Okay.
the incident, like something like that, like ATA, ATI, something that's like real catchy. Like, yeah, bro, like, that was crazy. I have friends that are like, at work and they get an incident and they're like, "Oh my God, I finally get off at 7. All right, cool. That's when we open the bar."
I like that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
the signature drink has to be something cow related. Come on. You know that. It has to be.
Yeah.
You cannot
Yeah.
have all this cow stuff. So you feel me? It would be
Yeah.
the eggnog and whatever alcohol my grandma puts in her eggnog. I don't know what it is. You know what I'm talking
Probably
about?
spiced rum.
Yeah, yes, yes. The eggnog and the spiced rum, we're gonna call it the spiced udder, something like that. I don't know.
Spiced udder.
The best names for drinks, please put them in the comments below.
Yes. Yeah. Please put it in the comment. But we need a cow related name for a drink.
We need it. And I know somebody on LinkedIn or YouTube gonna be like, "Why didn't you just choose?" And that's
Yeah.
the marketing team. See, you can't do everything. You need a team.
All right. Well, we'll get that to you, and we'll make sure it's on the menu for you before you get in there.
Awesome.
All right. Well, before you go, man, let the listeners know where they can find you, where they can connect with you online.
Of course. So you can connect with me on LinkedIn, Munir Mu Muhammad. I'm the only person with Mu in the middle. So if you just type in Mu Muhammad, you'll find me pretty fast. You can also find me on GitHub, GitHub/Munir Muhammad as well. Mu for President. And just in Philly. If you're ever out in Philly and you're on LinkedIn, send me a DM. I'm always willing to talk and guide folks who are coming in early in their careers. Always willing to work with people who are mid to seniors to help me learn something or to work on a project together. And, just vibe out. I have a tech space out here that I'm a part of called EMP, Ex Machina Parlor. We have a bunch of different hands-on project tools that we have, from 3D printers, laser printers. We have a lot of Raspberry Pis, ESP32s, different robotic stuff for you to play with, different books on being a programmer, pen tester, the whole nine. So my favorite selling point is we're a tech space that has AC in the summer and we have heat in the winter. So you don't gotta worry about stuff like that. So if you're in Philly, if you ever want to connect, just say hi. You can't miss me. I have a cow jacket on in the wintertime.
Dude, I thought of the name of your drink. Tell me if you like this. Call it like tip over, because you know how you go cow tipping, but you drink too many of those and you get tipped over. You like that? It's the best I could come up with.
For the people who are young watching this, or whatever your age is, I'm not ageist. Have you ever watched Back of the Barnyard with Otis or no?
Yeah.
Yes, that's cow
Yep.
tip. Yes, that's immediately what I thought of. Like, you had to have
That's it.
picture of him on the menu too. That little kid,
Yes.
the tip.
That's it. All right.
We
Deal.
got it. Love it.
All right, Moo. Well, thanks again, man. Thanks for I appreciate you coming on, sharing your insights with us. Again, happy birthday. And to everyone joining in, make sure you follow Moo online on LinkedIn. I appreciate seeing you, man.
Hey, thank you for having me, bro. Like I said, best podcast in the nation. If you ain't drinking, you better come to BarCode.
Thanks, man. Until next time, everybody, thanks and cheers.